In the upper echelons of global society, there exists a map that cannot be found on any digital device and a set of coordinates that never appear in a travel brochure, while the world celebrates the beauty of the Maldives or the charm of the Amalfi Coast. There is a tier of existence that looks down upon these popular haunts as mere transit points. We are talking about the vanishingly small percentage of the Earth's surface where the currency is not just wealth, but reputation, lineage, and the quiet nod of an existing member. These are the places where the gates do not open for a credit card, no matter how black or limitless it may be. Here, privacy is the only true commodity, and silence is the ultimate soundtrack. Imagine a world where islands are erased from satellite feeds during your stay and where the staff are trained to be as invisible as the ghosts of the aristocrats who once walked these halls. This is not just travel, it is an entry into a living myth. Welcome to the world of the truly unreachable. 1. The silent sovereignty of the hidden peak. High above the clouds, where the air turns thin and the silence becomes a physical weight, lies a sanctuary that defies the very concept of a resort. It is a fortress of glass and ancient stone, carved into the side of a mountain range that remains nameless to the general public. To arrive here is to undergo a transformation, leaving behind the noise of the city, for a realm where time is measured only by the movement of shadows across a glacial valley. The architecture does not compete with the landscape. It surrenders to it, utilizing floor-to-ceiling panes of crystal that offer a panoramic view of a world untouched by industry or ego. Inside, the warmth of rare cedar, wood and the crackle of a hearth fed by centuries old timber create an atmosphere of primordial comfort. This is where the architects of global finance come to shed their suits and find a version of themselves that hasn't existed since childhood. There are no menus here, only a private chef who has studied your lineage and your palate for months before your arrival, crafting meals that are less about sustenance and more about a sensory return to the earth. The exclusivity is absolute. If you do not know the family who owns the peak, you will never find the road that leads to its base. 2. The azure ghost of the private archipelago. Beneath the equator, tucked away in a fold of the ocean that maps conveniently overlook, sits a chain of limestone slivers known only to a handful of royal houses and tech titans. This archipelago does not offer luxury. It offers a total dissolution of the modern world. The water is a shade of blue that feels illegal, a neon turquoise so pure it seems to glow from beneath the surface. Each villa is a masterclass in organic minimalism, constructed from driftwood and silk, designed to let the trade winds breathe through the living spaces. There are no fences here because the ocean itself is the barrier, patrolled by a private security force that ensures not a single stray vessel ever crests the horizon. Life here is a sequence of slow, intentional moments, a breakfast of fruit picked minutes prior, a dive into a coral cathedral where the fish have never seen a human face, and a sunset that feels like a private performance staged just for you. Access is granted only via a personal invitation from the island's reclusive benefactor, a man who values a guest's discretion far more than their net worth. It is a place where you can finally be nobody, because everyone around you is a somebody. 3. The gilded echoes of the desert mirage. Deep within the shifting sands of a forbidden desert, there is an oasis that exists only for those who have mastered the art of the invisible life. It is a palatial estate inspired by the nomadic kings of old, yet outfitted with technology that borders on the futuristic. The dunes rise like golden giants around the perimeter, acting as natural walls that keep the prying eyes of the world at bay. When the sun dips below the dunes, the entire estate transforms into a lantern of flickering oil lamps and soft amber light, casting long shadows against walls adorned with tapestries that belong in the Louvre. The scent of oud and rare spices hangs heavy in the midnight air as guests gather on velvet divans to discuss the future of industries over coffee, brewed with gold leaf. This is a location where the sands are raked daily to erase any footprints, ensuring that when you leave, it is as if you were never there at all. It is a masterclass in the ephemeral, a dream that you can inhabit for a week, provided you are part of the inner circle that holds the keys to the desert. 4. The Emerald Fortress of the Forest Kings. Hidden within the emerald canopy of a prehistoric rainforest is a retreat that serves as the ultimate hideaway for the world's most powerful dynasties. The structures are suspended in the trees, connected by bridges of woven vine and steel, allowing the inhabitants to live amongst the clouds of the jungle. It is a symphony of natural sounds, the call of rare birds, the rush of a nearby waterfall, and the rustle of leaves that have never felt the sting of pollution. The air is thick with the scent of wet earth and blooming orchids, providing a literal detoxification of the soul. Here, the world of digital notifications is replaced by the rhythm of the forest. The exclusivity here stems from a commitment to conservation that only the ultra-wealthy can afford to subsidize. You do not book a stay. You apply for a residency, proving your commitment to the preservation of this sacred land. It is a place that reminds its guests that while they may own the world, they are still subjects to the majesty of nature. 5. The Crystal Sanctuary of the Arctic Circle. In the frozen reaches of the north, where the aurora borealis dances like a neon ghost across the sky, there is a sanctuary built entirely of ice and reinforced carbon. It is a marvel of engineering, a warm bubble of high culture situated in the most hostile environment on Earth. Guests arrive by private icebreaker or a specialized vertical takeoff craft, landing on a strip of permafrost that is maintained with surgical precision. Inside, the floors are heated by geothermal energy, and the walls are lined with fur and rare textiles. This is the ultimate destination for the winter solstice, a place where the world's elite gather to witness the lights in total isolation. There is a profound sense of survivalism mixed with extreme decadence. Sipping a vintage cognac, while a blizzard howls outside, is a feeling of power that cannot be replicated. In a tropical climate, the guest list is curated by a board of directors who ensure that the personalities within the sanctuary are as harmonious as the architecture itself. To be invited is to be recognized as a peer of the global vanguard. 6. The ancestral whisper of the Mediterranean estate. Along a rugged stretch of coastline that has been held by the same family since the Renaissance, lies an estate that is the definition of old money exclusivity. It is not a hotel, and it never will be. It is a working vineyard and a private residence that opens its doors to friends of the family only once a year. The stone walls are covered in bougainvillea, and the cellars contain vintages that have never been seen at auction. Dining here is an exercise in history. You sit at a table that has hosted emperors and poets, eating food grown in the volcanic soil just yards away. The Mediterranean stretches out like a sheet of hammered silver, and the only way to reach the private cove is by a secret tunnel carved into the cliffside. This is the hardest invitation to secure in the world of luxury travel because it cannot be bought. It requires a shared history, a mutual respect, and a lineage that stretches back as far as the olive trees on the property. It is a reminder that the most exclusive spots on Earth are not those with the highest price tag, but those with the deepest roots. The world is vast, but for those who live at the peak of the pyramid, it is a small, interconnected web of secret doors and silent hallways. These destinations represent the pinnacle of human experience, places where the noise of the masses is replaced by the whisper of the elite. True luxury is not about what you can buy. It is about where you are allowed to go when the rest of the world is told no. At Lexure, we believe that the ultimate status symbol is the ability to disappear into a world of your own making. If you found this glimpse into the world's most hidden corners as fascinating as we do, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our community for more journeys into the heart of high-end living. We are honored to be your guide through the shadows of the billionaire world. Thanks for watching. In our next film, we will be diving deep into the secret garages of the world's most prolific car collectors. You won't want to miss it.